Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the CAO Webinar Wednesday series here on the 17th of June at Trinity College, Dublin. We're delighted you can join us today. My name is Gobnait, and I'm one of the EU Student Recruitment Managers here at Trinity College. We hope that you're keeping well out there. We'd just like to start with maybe some housekeeping as you're joining us. If you're watching us on your mobile phone, we would advise you to watch it in landscape. You'll get the better user experience like that. We have a number of guests with us here today, which we're delighted to have with us, and they will be answering questions throughout their presentation, but also in the background. So that you will see on your screen the question and answer, the Q&A button. So we would ask you to direct your questions via the Q&A button, and we'll be happy to answer them throughout the presentation. We will also be having a question and answer session at the end of the webinar. So hopefully we will get your questions then. Hopefully we'll get all of your questions then. I'm delighted to be joined here today by both staff and students from Trinity College Dublin. We are obviously running this series of webinar Wednesdays throughout the month of June as the CAO, should I say, Change of Mind deadline approaches us. You probably by now have looked at the courses and looked at the academic requirements, but what we want to do is provide you with a flavour of what life is like here at Trinity, to give you some insights into the aspects of life at Trinity that will enhance your educational experience here. So we started last week with our Webinar Wednesday series and looking at student orientation, looking at the student experience. Obviously the start date of the 28th of September has now been announced for our academic year here at Trinity. So we do have a recording of that, and the link to that recording is on tcd.ie/CAO if you are interested in seeing it. Before we move on to today's session, I'd just like to take a moment to talk about Trinity College's response to COVID-19. Obviously, we're all thinking about you out there. The students are at the heart of our community, and your health, well-being and safety, along with that of our staff, is our first priority here. We are super proud of both our academic and admin staff who are determined to give you, they're working so hard and determined to give you a really great and inspiring learning experience in the next academic year. We do have an extensive FAQ section on our website, so you can see that here, www.tcd.ie/study/F/FAQ. And we appreciate that you may have some questions, or some questions may arrive over the coming weeks and months, and we hope you can find some reassurance here. These are updated almost daily, so please be sure to check it out if you do have some questions. So without further ado, that brings us to today's Webinar Wednesday, which is the second, as I say, in our series. And today's webinar is going to focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, careers and alumni opportunities for students at Trinity College Dublin. As you know, maybe some of you may know that Trinity College is really at the epicenter of innovation and entrepreneurship epicenter of Dublin, right in the heart of the Dublin Innovation District. And we are delighted to be joined here today by both, as I say, our staff and our students. Joe Lanzillotta, you can give us a wave, Joe. Lara Parceir, Callum MacDonald, Marielle Kelly, Deirdre Donahue, and Megan Donaldson, and they are going to talk in more detail as to the things that they have been involved with. Joe's obviously going to be our first speaker, and he's going to talk about student entrepreneurship at the college and the opportunities that are available for you. And as we go through, the other speakers will tell you all about what they've been involved in. So we're really delighted to be joined by them today, and hope that you find it of use. As I say, if you do have questions, please do use the Q&A button, and we'll be happy to facilitate your questions through there. Okay, so I'd like to now move on and introduce Joe Lanzillotta. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Gobnait. I'm just going to share my screen now.
If I can ask the other speakers then to turn off maybe their mics and their videos. Okay, so I'll now hand over to Joe.
Thank you, Gobnait. Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Lanzillotta, and I manage the Student Entrepreneurship Program for Tangent, which is Trinity's Ideas Workspace. Today, I'm just going to be talking you guys through exactly what Tangent is and kind of some of the opportunities that are here for any Trinity student at the university. As the manager of the Student Entrepreneurship Program, my role is taking anybody with an idea from something scribbled on a napkin all the way up to getting into our summer accelerator, Launchbox. I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but just to give you guys an idea of where we are located to start out on the Trinity campus, Tangent lives in the brand new business school, the new business building. You can see the floor behind me. I'll show you another picture in a second. But this is where we are located. We're there and open to all students to come in and to participate and develop new ideas. We actually have an entire floor dedicated to this. So on this floor, we have everything from innovation potential, entrepreneurial venture. If you have a startup and would like to launch it, we have an open space to develop that. And there are a lot of opportunities that we have that live within the floor. To explain, it kind of breaks down like Trinity. We have kind of three pillars here. So education, entrepreneurship, and engagement. So these are the three areas that we work to help students like yourselves who are participating in the college to develop your ideas and reach into the broader world, be by developing your skills that might apply to whatever job you're doing, or to develop and launch an actual venture. One of the popular things for a lot of our Trinity students is in the Tangent education sphere. It's called the Undergraduate Certificate in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Now, this undergraduate certificate is actually available for all students of Trinity College, regardless of your discipline. In your second or third year of your undergraduate studies, you can take this alongside your degree and actually graduate with an extra certificate. So there would be a number of students, one of which you'll see in this video I'm going to play for you, who would have studied, say, computer science and then end up with a degree in innovation, which gives you that balance between whatever your course of study is and business. It's also unique in that it brings a lot of students from different disciplines together, which can be rare, and it's actually really exciting when you get to work with people from different backgrounds. So I'm just going to play this video for you guys quickly so you can get an idea, because a video is worth a million words.
Today's world demands more. In a rapidly evolving ecosystem, innovation is the currency of the future. Trinity College Dublin has a long history of academic excellence and is now investing in the next generation of education. Trinity is offering students the opportunity to unlock their creative potential, think differently, and meet the challenges of the future. Start your journey with a certificate in innovation and entrepreneurship.
The certificate program is designed to enable students to go beyond their discipline.
To get a deeper understanding behind entrepreneurship, would it be of use to me and anyone who wants to take a dive in the world of entrepreneurship.
By engaging with fellow undergraduates from across the university, students discover how to convert their knowledge and ideas into the products, services, and processes of the future.
Delivered by leading academics and industry experts, it's self-paced and flexible so it fits your schedule. Work alongside other motivated students in multidisciplinary teams to develop innovative solutions to the challenges of today.
No matter what the initial problem is or what the solution is going to be, everybody can have input and they can have meaningful input as well.
I really love the design thinking aspect. Me being someone who needs kind of a structure and a plan, it allowed me to lay out the steps and then start taking them myself.
So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or future innovation leader, this certificate will ensure you stand out in today's competitive world.
Don't consider it, just do it. Let's do it, challenge yourself a little bit and take it on.
If you're anywhat considering it, you should just go for it. Like, you have nothing to lose.
So that is just one example the many things we have going on in Tangent in our education sphere. That is a great way to get involved, but there are many other ways to get involved, and my space is in the entrepreneurship space of Tangent. So I'll go to the next thing. In Tangent Entrepreneurship, this encompasses a number of different things that even predate Tangent's existence, one of which is the Blackstone Launchpad powered by Techstars program. In the US and around the world, there are a number of these sites. So we are networked in with a number of universities from around the world who all have these innovation hubs. And in that way, we can help people with new ideas to expand to a global network. I also run the Launchpad Sprints program, which is for early stage idea development, to start getting your idea off the ground, working you all the way up to potentially getting into the Launchbox Student Accelerator. That's over the summer. I'll tell you a bit about that at the end, but essentially 10 teams are selected every year and are funded 10,000 euros to develop their idea. That's without taking any equity in the company. It's one of the best opportunities for somebody launching a startup. We also have mentorship programs like Women Who Wow, who help get help just with the entrepreneurial skills and putting you in contact with somebody who may be from your discipline and can help you launch your ideas or even just upskill yourself to get the job you're looking for. We have hackathons like the Provost Innovation Challenge, where we tackle world problems. And then we have things like eLabs, which actually connects us to our European-wide partners. And so in that way, you can network across Europe in developing new ideas and reaching cool and innovative people. Everybody always asks, though, how do you start to get involved in this sort of thing? It can be a bit difficult to get started if you don't necessarily have an idea. And for that reason, we actually have Tangent Online. It's an open Blackboard module for anybody with new ideas. Any student of Trinity can sign up to this. It's just a little form. If you are a student of Trinity already and you're here now, you're more than welcome to join on. A lot of students are on already. In this, we have evidence of when our space is open. Obviously right now it wouldn't be open, but it is open to students to come in and work on ideas. We have a resource bank that shows you kind of the basic steps to getting your idea off the ground. We can tell you when events are happening. That can be physical or digital. We have a number of events happening digitally now. And then opportunities like things for funding and to get your ideas developed even further, as well as one-to-one mentorship, which is open to all students. You can book a one-to-one mentorship meeting with either myself, Gavin, or Allison Tracy. Those are my colleagues. Gavin's the head of entrepreneurship, and Allison is the student startup and innovation manager who actually manages Launchbox Summer Accelerator program. So she would manage all of the startups that are developing their ideas across the summer. And for us in the entrepreneurship sphere, when students are developing new ideas and looking to launch startups, Launchbox is the kind of the gem at the end of the tunnel for students to get into. And in that way, we have the Launchbox program. It also builds an alumni group of students who can come back and can meet and network. And this is something that in my role, I can connect students who are new to developing ideas into those who have gone on to launch successful companies. So just to give you a bit of context and idea of what the Launchbox program is, I have another video for you just here. So I'm going to play that for you now, and then I'll speak a little bit more, and then I'm going to wrap up and let us ask some questions.
In the Launchbox program in 2015, a company called Tuition. Now I just finished up working with Accenture and I'm currently working with AWS.
We launched Keep Happy about 2 weeks before the end of Launchbox, the demo day. And since then, so over the past 3 months, we have over 7,000 users across 62 countries. And I guess Launchbox really propelled us over the finishing line to launching our beta product. And I guess winning Launchbox on the demo day really just gave us the kind of assurance and validity that we needed to progress.
Launchbox was invaluable for us. It helped us with mentorship, pitch training, getting out in front of people and talking. I think really helping us get to where we are today. We're just about to close a seed round of funding, which is definitely, Launchbox is a big part of getting us there.
We have education programs, we have entrepreneurial programs, we have engagement programs, and what we're here to do is not just train the skills, not just train people in innovation and the frameworks, but it's all about the development of an attitude. It's all about kind of like bringing that entrepreneurial attitude out. You have great mentorship, you have great talks, you have people you can lean on, but like at the end of the day, there is no deadline, there is no goal, there is no exam. The only one responsible for you getting your stuff done is you.
Launchbox really opened my mind to other opportunities that there are for students after college. The opportunity to speak to a ton of different people and learn how to pitch a business idea. So it was really great just to develop those skills.
We're very proud of everybody and all the achievements that's happened here with you guys. We have disruptive technologies heading towards it. We have changing demographics. The world is changing and it can be terrifying. But when people come through Launchbox, we see opportunity in all these changes. So It is about character development, about building resilience.
Right now we've launched into 3 countries and we're looking at launching onto another continent at the moment.
Somebody that was thinking about doing Launchbox, if they're kind of sitting on the fence with an idea in their head that they think could become a business, that's a really good opportunity to actually make that idea become into something that's actually not just in your head, it's reality. You know?
It's about having fun, getting to know people and figuring stuff out. And I think that's why it's such a special program and why it works so well for students, particularly here in Trinity.
Launchbox was great because it provided us with a really good grounding across a wide variety of different lessons, whether it was marketing, legal, it was a combination of everything.
We got so much help from other co-founders and other startups, so it was definitely something that I wanted to do when I was finished and wanted to give back to the Trinity community.
By coming back and being part of this family and sharing your experiences, we're very, very appreciative. And please keep on coming back, keep on engaging with us. You're part of this wider, very special community.
So as you saw at the end there, that's our CEO, the head of Tangent, Ken Finnegan. As he said, we have a community here, and this community is meant to bring people in and be able to develop new ideas, regardless of your background. If you're studying at Trinity, this is for you. Tangent is a space that you can come into and help your ideas come to life. For anybody who is interested in looking at what we're working on or wants to see a bit more, what I have here, this is Tangent TV. It was launched just over a month or 2 ago. It is our YouTube channel, and it has videos going out weekly of innovators, entrepreneurs talking about topics of innovation from across the board. Anything you're interested in, there's probably something there for you. And it's a good way to get an even further taste. So if you guys want to check out, you can go to the bit.ly link there, or you're more than welcome to just search Tangent Trinity's Ideas Workspace on YouTube. You can find out more about what we're doing, and also feel free to reach out to myself. I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm happy to speak to you guys about the opportunities here for innovation at Trinity. I really do that. Hope to see you all soon. I'll hope to see you in Trinity at some point, and maybe one of you is the next great innovator that we can help make it happen. So thank you so much for that. And now, without further ado, I do have the pleasure of handing over to a Launchpad Sprints alumni, a Launchbox alumni, and now a participant in the Launchpad Fellowship, Lara. So I will, without further ado, hand the floor back over to Lara, and thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Joe. Can everyone hear me there all right? And see me? Yeah. All right. Well, Joe was our first point of contact in Trinity with entrepreneurship, and has been such an amazing helping hand in Trinity as a student entrepreneur. So my name is Lara Parceir. I'm a sociology and social policy student. I actually began in Trinity in first year as a social work student, but quickly realized that that wasn't the path for me. So I preferred the kind of more like system-based things of sociology. So I reapplied to the CAO and started again. Finished my first year exams because I loved, university life, going for coffee, going to lectures, all the cool society events that Trinity has to offer. Then I started in sociology and social policy. So Trinity, as Joe described there, is just an amazing place to come if you want to become a student entrepreneur. That's entrepreneurs, but I'll also show you how this can be just an amazing experience to have. Sorry, I'll start the video. And like a really fulfilling experience to have at college. So my startup is EthiCart. So EthiCart is a user-friendly app that allows you to see how sustainable your food products are. So you search a product or scan a barcode, and it comes up with the sustainability score for your food products. So you can buy products that align with your values, and we suggest alternatives where possible. So EthiCart actually began as my co-founder Laura is studying computer science and business, and we were one Christmas evening, we were having a few drinks at home, and she was talking to me about this project that she'd done, and I thought that was just an amazing idea. I thought it was so cool. We'd been in secondary school together, and on board, so there's the message message there, and we've just learned so much since that message and gone on this just amazing journey with EthiCart. Like that. So we began engaging with Tangent through the Launchpad Sprints program. This was a brilliant program that Joe ran and that got us up to speed with, you know, terminology, refined our pitch deck, and importantly got to speak about our business in front of an audience for the first time. The programs Tangent run are free of charge for all students, and everyone is eligible for them no matter what discipline you are: computer science and business, sociology, languages, whatever it may be that you'd like to study when you come to Trinity in September. The programs Laura and I took part in with Tangent were the Women Who Wow mentorship program. So that pairs you with a woman in business that you admire and can learn from, and you arrange a monthly meeting with them to progress your career and startup. And then we also did the Launchbox Student Accelerator program, which was an incredible experience that I'll touch on in a minute. But Tangent have just been an amazing help. Once you get in touch with them, they're literally there for you and want you to succeed as much as you can, and they've been such an amazing help. So here are Laura and I are pitching for Launchbox. And then that was in the arts block, and then we were accepted into Launchbox started in May 2019, and then we got some, you know, nice press releases, which is good for future career opportunities and also to get your startup out there. So this is, you know, a little so it was definitely one of the coolest experiences of my life and has already opened up so many doors for me. We met an amazing network of students. There we are with everyone, all the other Launchbox participants, and we got to go to cool events, you know, corporate events, startup events, sustainability events. We learned so many new skills. We had workshops on GDPR, marketing, and then also pitching, which obviously is so important as a startup, and also an amazing life skill to have that we learned, that we got to experience through the Launchbox program. We also engaged with leaders in sustainability and business. There we are at Airfield's Festival of Food, where we partnered with a large Irish retailer, Super Value, and got to engage with the public. And, you know, we spent the summer just really validating the market, seeing what the extent of the issue was, and Launchbox gave us the ability to do that, and all the supports within Trinity really gave us the confidence and the competencies to make EthiCart into reality. So after Launchbox, we've been continuing with EthiCart. So we've just been accepted into the Blackstone Launchpad Student Startup Fellowship with funding of $5,000, as well as a vast network of entrepreneurs internationally. We were in the Business Spirit Awards and became runner-up in that. Then within Dublin, within Ireland, there's the Irish Student Entrepreneurship Forum, which we were in the finals of, got to connect with student entrepreneurs. There's also the Enactus Society in Trinity that we partnered with, and we're in the national competition for that. So the opportunity that kind of wait you in Trinity is absolutely endless in terms of entrepreneurship, and much more. So then in September we'll be launching the app with the Trinity centered version. So hopefully you'll be able to download that when you come to Trinity in September. So yeah, hopefully you've got a little idea of what entrepreneurship is like in Trinity and what opportunity can await you in September, and the supports and the amazing network of people that you can be connected with within Trinity College Dublin. So thank you all so much for listening, and get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end also. And then also make sure to follow us on EthiCart_app on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to pass you over to Callum now.
Perfect. Thank you, Lara. Okay, so my name is Cal McDonald and I'm the president of TESS, Trinity Entrepreneurial Society. Here at TESS, we foster innovation and entrepreneurship at Trinity. So we are the largest business and careers focused society in Trinity and the largest entrepreneurial society in Europe. Last year, we had over 1,300 members, which increased from the year before of 1,200. We also have the highest number of entrepreneurial founders graduating in Europe. Some of our goals for TESS include inspiring and educating a new generation of entrepreneurs, empowering students in achieving their entrepreneurial aspirations and goals. We connect students with other students, societies, and external mentors that can aid them in their goals. We aid in the creation and nurture of student enterprise. So, how do we do these? Well, one of their most popular ways of introducing students to the entrepreneurial ecosystem is our TESS Talks. We've had many impressive speakers such as Michael O'Leary of Ryanair, John and James Kavanagh. John was Conor McGregor's coach, and James Kavanagh is an Instagram influencer. Jack Dorsey of Twitter, Paddy Cosgrave of the Web Summit, Mark Little of BBC, and Bobby Healy of Mana Delivery. Mana Delivery is the first drone delivery service to deliver medicine and Ben & Jerry's ice cream, interestingly enough, in Ireland. We also aim to improve society collaborations and give students a strong network within other societies and colleges all over Ireland. Here you can see a picture of a panel we hosted with students from Queen's Belfast, Trinity, DCU, and UCD. One of the other recent events we hosted was Techstars Student Startup Weekend. It was held in January in Google headquarters, and it was the largest student startup weekend with over 100 participants. These participants came with an idea and pitched their idea over 54 hours. Students from all over Ireland and UK attended this event. So if you come to Trinity with an idea and you come to TESS, we try our best to turn that idea into a business. We host weekly incubator programs, which launched in 2014 and is the center of fostering entrepreneurship here in Trinity. We aim to transfer your ideas into a business, and we give you sessions on idea generation, validation, pitching, and business modeling. A couple of your questions have come in, have asked about any funding opportunities within Trinity. Here at the incubator program, we give €500 funding for each team, and students retain 100% of their startup. We do not take any ownership. Our largest event of the year is the Dragon's Den. TESS Dragon's Den is our flagship event, and last year we had 500 students and attendees in attendance. It is an annual competition where 6 finalists battle it out in front of RTE dragons, like on the famous TV Dragon's Den. This event showcases the talent of Trinity students and their entrepreneurial attributes. Last year we had a prize fund of €20,000 for our winner and runner-up. Again, we took no equity, so the company was fully theirs. Some notable alumni which you've had from Dragon's Den include Change Donations, a financial charity donation app, Bounce Insights, a marketing app, which on their first day on the App Store was more popular than Tinder. Applaud.live, a platform for musicians to book events and gigs, Zorin OS, an operating system, and Web Summit, one of the largest events global. Now here's something that we have coming up for next year. We are going to introduce new venture capital masterclasses. So while we want to improve entrepreneurship and innovation with all students, we also want to give them an insight onto the other side of the table. So we're giving classes on startup valuations, financial modeling, startup growth tactics, and general venture capital skills. This will not be done without any of our support from our sponsors, Bank of Ireland and Elkstone Capital, the venture capital fund. Here you can see that we have the best social media in Trinity, and that is a fact. If you want to check it out, you can follow us on any of our social media pages at TESS Trinity. We host plenty of events throughout the year, and we'll post them on our Facebook pages. Thank you for your time, and this is our lovely committee from last year. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out on my LinkedIn or Twitter. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks Gobnait. So I'm Marielle Kelly and I'm a careers consultant here at Trinity College. So I'm here today really just to take you through the services that we offer so you can kind of understand, you know, when you come to Trinity, how are you going to get support with your career, which I'm sure many of you are wondering about. So I'm going to give you an overview of our services and then talk a bit more about some of our more specific programs. So in terms of what we do, you know, career guidance appointments will be at the heart of what we do. So, you know, we know that right now you're thinking about what course to take, what college to go to, maybe even what country, you know, all these really big career decisions, but actually that's just the start. So from the minute you start in college, you're going to be learning new things, discovering new things that you like, and you're going to be making loads of decisions the whole time about, you know, what job do I apply for? What internship do I do? Do I take a summer and travel? Lots of different things. So we're here to support you. We know people want kind of individual support, really tailored to your circumstances. So most of our job is around that kind of individual support through career guidance. The other things that we do CV and LinkedIn profile clinics. So every week you can come in and we have a fantastic team of PhD students who we've trained up, and they will go through your CV, look at your LinkedIn profile and see, you know, are you doing the best that you could be, or could you be kind of selling yourself a little bit more? So that's a really popular service that we have. We run loads of careers workshops for everything from, you know, planning your career to very practical stuff around doing a great CV, doing a great interview, you know, LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff. And then practice interviews, I suppose, are something that we do that's kind of different to other services. It's not that common. So interviews are something that make people pretty nervous, but it's a skill you can learn. So we do training around that. So if you have a big interview coming up, you can come to us, you send us your stuff, your job description, and we'll prepare something specifically focused on that job for you. We'll take you through an interview specifically for that job and give you feedback. And it's such a good way of just getting used to it, building up your confidence, and people always feel much better afterwards before they go into the real thing. And we've actually just signed up to a new product where you can do video interviews online at any time, which is also really useful because sometimes an employer calls and says, we have an interview for you in the morning and you don't have time to come into us. You can log on at whatever time and do a practice interview right there and get kind of video feedback. So that's really, really good. We do loads of employer events every year. We have over 200 employers who come on campus every year. So we do a range of different career fairs around different career sectors. And then we have individual employers who come in to talk to you. We have, you know, people who come and do stands in the hallways and that kind of stuff. So we have lots of employers on campus. You know, we're one of the, you know, we are the best university in Ireland. We're a target university for local and international employers. So certainly if you want to talk to employers at Trinity, that's something that happens a lot. And then other stuff, so psychometric assessments is something for those of you who feel confused about what direction you want to go. You get free access to some really good psychometric tests, and we can guide you through those. And loads of online resources. So lots of stuff that you can only access for free as a Trinity student, like Vault Online, which is really detailed kind of careers information, again, to help you understand your options. We advertise loads of vacancies and opportunities, you know, mostly internships and graduate roles, graduate programs. I know there was a question down in the Q&A around part-time jobs. We advertise those too. But really in that space, the Students' Union are fantastic. They have a really good list that they have updated all the time around lots of part-time opportunities around the city as well as on campus. And then we have awards, we have scholarships, and I'm going to talk you through those a little bit more. And we have a mentoring program, which is fantastic as well. So I'm just going to take you through those. But first, I just want to talk about your career journey in Trinity. So, you know, everyone approaches this differently. So some people get very, very involved and kind of work towards their career their whole time in Trinity. Some people leave to the last minute. You know, whatever works for you. Maybe last minute isn't great, but I just wanted to give you a sense of the kinds of stuff you can get involved in from the very start. Because what we hear always from employers is it's not just the degree. So when you graduate with a degree, there's a given that you have a good grade, a good degree. Employers, whether it's in, you know, business, finance, you know, not-for-profits, engineering, computer science, they always ask, what else? So what else have you done? What other skills have you developed? What else are you interested in? So you can really start, you know, building up your employability from the minute you come on campus. So from first year, joining those clubs and societies, they're a fantastic way to kind of, you know, meet new people, explore stuff you might have thought about and never got the chance to try, build your confidence. Like, they're fantastic for that. Volunteering is really good and very valued by employers. You could find part-time work, and you can really start even from first year building up your CV and your LinkedIn profile. And it's a good idea to do that because often you might kind of forget the details as you go along. So it's good to start that in first year. Then from second year, you can start moving up in societies, taking on different roles of responsibility in societies like TESS and others, applying for summer work opportunities in Ireland or overseas. So a lot of students would go overseas for their summer and second year and do an internship. You can apply as well for spring week internships. I know there was a few people on here interested in finance careers. So a lot of the big finance firms in London would offer something called a Spring Insight Week every year. And that's where they bring you over for a week and a half term and you get to spend a week in their business. And we have a bursary for that as well, because obviously it's expensive to fly to London, live in London, buy a suit to go into a fancy office. So we have a bursary for that. So that makes it accessible to people. And so you could certainly apply for those. Then from third year, things really kick off. You know, by that stage, you should be thinking about applying for a summer internship and really getting good industry experience. You want to maybe start looking at finding a mentor through a mentorship program and thinking about your next steps, and also starting to research what you might want to do next. Third year is a good time to think about that, because if you're looking at post-grad study or graduate jobs, a lot of those open up in the September of fourth year. So third year is a great time to start kind of planning. And then from fourth year, then you're really getting into that full application mode, post-grad, you know, jobs, really engaging with mentors and really starting to make those decisions about your next step. So there's plenty to keep you busy in terms of your career as you go along. So just to talk to you about some of those programs, Trinity Alumni Online Mentoring is a fantastic program. So it's something that, you know, we run in collaboration with the Global Office, the Alumni Office, and we have 90,000 alumni, and I know the Alumni Office will speak to you shortly. And the Alumni Office went out to them and said, would you be willing to help our students with their careers? And loads of them came back and said yes. So when you're a Trinity student, you can log on to this online portal and you can search for alumni working in a specific job, specific sector, specific country, whatever you're kind of exploring. And you can find people working in those areas and you can talk to them. You can hear what's their job like. You know, maybe you're going for a job in their company. They can give you some tips on what does the company look for? What's it like to work in this company? You know, they might do practice interviews with you. They'll help you maybe network. They might have ideas about jobs that aren't advertised, which is up to 70% of jobs are never advertised. So, and they might look at your CV in terms of their own specific professional experience. So mentoring is one of the things that we really, really encourage all our students to get involved with. It is absolutely fantastic, and you get an insight that you just can't get from reading about careers or thinking about careers. So that's something that we would really hope that you'd get involved with when you come onto campus. The next thing is the Trinity Employability Award. So again, this is something, you know, different and unique to Trinity. So we've been running these for a few different years, and what an employability award is, it's a series of workshops. So you do one workshop with us in the Career Service, which is all about realizing what you have to offer and understanding how to explain that to students, because that can be something people find hard. They can be great and not know how to say it. So we do a big workshop on that, and then you'll go off to an employer premises for a day or two, and you'll do workshops in very specific skills that are related to their industry. And so there's different pathways. We have an Intel award, we have a professional services one with the big accountancy firms, we have a pharma one, and we're launching a social justice one this year with NGOs, and a digital health one. So within those, there's all sorts of different skills you could learn, from, you know, model-based problem solving to lean to design thinking to how to brand yourself, blockchain. Like there's lots of different stuff you can do there. On top of doing those workshops, you have to do extracurricular activities, because we really want people to build up that experience. And then you compete. You can get a certificate if you put in like a reflective piece at the end, and you can compete for prizes. So those prizes vary from significant cash prizes through to laptops, through to internships in the companies. So it's a really, really good thing you can get involved with. And that is from, depending on the award, from second year right through to fourth year. So again, something to kind of keep an eye out for. And then finally, the Laidlaw Scholarship is something that is, you know, we're really proud of this program. We're the only university in Ireland who are part of this. So it is a, you know, research and leadership program that is funded by the Laidlaw Foundation. And there's 12 universities globally in this partnership, including St. Andrews in Scotland, Columbia and Tufts in the US. So it's really, really prestigious. And it's a 2-year program. And during those 2 years, you would do 6 to 10 weeks of funded research. And when I say funded, the stipend for that is €6,000 per student, for, you know, over those weeks. And on top of that, there's loads of funding to help you. If you say you needed to go to another country to carry out part of your research, you can get funding towards that. If you need to go to an international conference as part of your research, there can be funding towards that. So it's really, really generous. And apart from becoming, you know, really good at research, you also get this leadership development program. So that's kind of over the course. You get one-to-one coaching. You have these amazing residential workshops where you get to, you know, hear from leaders in lots of areas and do lots of kind of peer activities. So it's a really fantastic program. So I suppose those three things are the really major differentiators, I suppose, and things that are really worth taking a look at if you're coming to Trinity. And I'm delighted because we have Deirdre who's up next, and Deirdre is a very engaged student. Deirdre has won 2 employability awards. She won professional services 2 years ago, and she won Intel this year, and she's also a Laidlaw scholar. So I'm going to hand over to you so she can really give you a sense of, you know, whatever about me telling you about it, what's it actually like from a student perspective. So I'm going to hand over to Deirdre.
Hello, thank you for that introduction. So I'm Deirdre. I'm the only person who knows slides, but anyway, I'll tell you about what I've done so far. As Mara said there, I'm a Laidlaw scholar. I got that last year, so this is my second summer of research, which obviously we've had to adjust a bit given Corona and all that. But it's really, really great in the opportunities that it presents for the students involved, because even to apply to be a Laidlaw scholar, you need to approach someone in the university yourself, a lecturer that you have or anyone that's willing to take you on with an idea, and you just have to develop that research proposal yourself, and then the best ones are chosen. And it's just incredible the support that you get along the way and the people that you interact with. There's 20 of us, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong about that, and you're surrounded by such brilliant people, and it encourages you to be as brilliant as them. And it's just so encouraging. Like even last October, we all went to UCL in London. Everything was paid for, a brilliant conference. We got to network with loads of different universities that were there, and just to really get to know much more people in our field, and especially if you want to do postgraduate work, to have research done completely independently, plus your thesis in 4th year, that's going to really benefit you when you're applying. So, and obviously the leadership training will give you skills that apply to any job. So if you don't plan to do a postgraduate degree, also any graduate program, any jobs, the leadership skills are always going to be needed. And even being able to present, being able to, make those connections is just really, really great skill to have. But then I suppose a lot of people might be a bit more interested in the employability awards. It's a bit of a different take because it's not research focused. It's more, I suppose, a lot of graduate programs. If people are thinking of going that route, those are really amazing. I did the the professional services one last year, but I ended up, so there's the big 4 involved, and you do the final in one of the big 4. So I did the final in KPMG, where we had to do it was a public speaking competition for the final 5, and we had to do a proposal on how KPMG can attract students from different academic backgrounds. So for me, being a psychology student, obviously that was a good take on it to start with. But it was just really great. Obviously it was so scary. There's really the top dogs in KPMG. They're all there, but they're really encouraging, and they give you great feedback. And I got an internship from that last summer. So I was in the business school in KPMG last summer, and it was really, really great. They were so helpful. But while I was there, I realized that was not the route I was going to take. I liked the firm, but I didn't enjoy the kind of HR side of work. So while I was there, I kind of started networking with people in management consulting in the firm. So I was in the Stephen's Green office, and I was kind of talking on calls and meeting people for lunch that were in the office down here in the IFSC, and they're an all management consultant. I realized that was something I really wanted to do. So I was able to get some people to agree to meet me, and they put me into the internship for this summer. Obviously that's been changed now. It's a 3-week online internship rather than 2 weeks proper. But 80% of interns in that program get onto the graduates program. So hopefully next year I'll be doing management consulting in KPMG, something which I wouldn't even have considered before going to Trinity. Because psychology, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I didn't think it'd be management consultant. I didn't even know what that was, So getting involved in these things really can completely change the path that you're on and give you really amazing insights. With Intel, I did it really because why not? You can never have too many opportunities. So I just did it. I was like, I know very little about Intel. I'd love to know more. And they brought us down to Leak Sip, showed us what they're doing there, did some really interesting workshops. They're very hands-on. We're learning about lean management by building racing cars and stuff like that. So it's really, really fun. And they brought us into the VR, and they explained the big moves that they're making. And obviously there was 2 winners for that, a male and a female winner. I was a female winner, but it was just really great because we got a cash prize and a laptop, and we get connections, you know, so talking to people there, and you never know, I might end up there as well, because the way kind of careers seem to be nowadays is that they're a lot less straightforward than they used to be. So if you have any kind of, you know, opportunity presenting itself, I'd say always go for it, because you never know where you'll end up. So it's brilliant. But yeah, I think that's all for me. Thanks.
I'm Megan Donaldson. I am the Global Alumni Relations Officer in our alumni office here at Trinity, where I work primarily with our international alumni community. So as you've heard from everybody on today's webinar, Trinity is a really amazing place to spend 4 years and to start to build your future careers. It's an ambitious, inspiring place to study, and it really gives students the tools to do whatever they want in life. I know you haven't started at Trinity yet, but it is important to say that from the time you accept your offer, you really become part of a Trinity global community that stretches far beyond Front Square and long past graduation, with an alumni network that supports both students and each other in many ways. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about our alumni community here. You'll see a number of our notable alumni there on the slide. Trinity has over 126,000 alumni in more than 160 countries worldwide, working in every possible field. We have many notable alumni, including 2 former presidents of our, Barry McAleese and Barry Robinson, the CEOs of 2 major airlines, Qantas and Ryanair, the very famous Michael O'Leary, as well as award-winning economists, journalists, business leaders, and tech entrepreneurs. These are people like Mark Little, a former host of RT's Primetime and an entrepreneur who has launched multiple successful startups, and Richie Boucher, the former CEO of the Bank of Ireland, plus the hundreds of alumni who have joined the many big-name tech and finance companies operating out of Silicon Docks here in Dublin. We also have a number of successful alumni in the arts. You may have recently watched Normal People on BBC and RTE, which was a huge success story for Trinity alumni in every respect of the production. It was based on a book written by a Trinity graduate, Sally Rooney. It starred a Trinity graduate, Paul Mescal, who played one of the main characters, Connell. It was directed by a Trinity graduate called Lenny Abrahamson, who actually started off studying theoretical physics before he went into philosophy and now film. And it was produced by a Trinity graduate named Ed Gobnait, who studied business here at Trinity and is one of the co-founders of Element Pictures, which produced the show. And so obviously it's not just our more established alumni that are doing amazing things, but our recent graduates are finding success in so many ways as well. You've got people like Amy Louise Carton, who you heard from earlier in Joe's video. She's a co-founder of the wellness app Keep Appy and an award-winning entrepreneur, who alongside Lara recently made the Business Post 30 under 30 list of ones to watch in Irish tech. Got people like Sinead Burke, who's an activist, writer, academic, and fashionista, who in 2018 was named by British Vogue as one of the 25 leaders defining and redefining the way we live now. You've got Candice LaFleur, who's the founder and managing director of CR Robotics, who created a home monitoring companion robot to help people with dementia. And you've got graduates like Conor O'Mara, who has led strategy and business operations at startups in London and New York, and co-founded a social enterprise to improve food distribution for refugees during the European refugee crisis. Conor was also recently accepted to Stanford University as part of a very competitive and prestigious scholarship program, the first Irish person and Trinity graduate to be part of that program, which is fantastic. And on top of that, he's just a really genuinely lovely guy as well. So to tell you a little bit how our network of alumni like these support students while you're here on campus. And we have a number of programs through which alumni help students throughout their undergraduate years. So I'm going to highlight a few of these. Mentoring is obviously a really, really big one and incredibly impactful for students. As you heard from Marielle earlier, here in the alumni office, we work with the careers office and schools to organize mentoring events throughout the year. These are organized by professional clusters from creative arts and media to STEM to business, finance and consulting, and also by school, law, business, nursing. And the students and alumni connect at these events and continue the relationship throughout the year, with the alumni helping with resumes and providing both reassurance and direction as students decide what they'd like to do next. Last year, over 300 alumni and 600 students took part in the program, so it's incredibly popular. Marielle also mentioned our Trinity Alumni Online Network, which allows alumni to connect with each other and with students, where you as students can find an online mentor. So you could use the platform to connect with potential alumni mentors who are from the same place as yourself, or are living in a place somewhere that you'd like to go, or in a particular field you'd like more information about. And the good news is you can still use the platform to find mentors once you have graduated, as we really strongly encourage alumni to alumni mentoring on the platform. Additionally, alumni also provide internships via the Careers Service. If you're planning on studying abroad while you're here at Trinity, we have something called the International Welcome Programme, where Trinity alumni act as alumni buddies for current students studying abroad in non-EU countries. They advise the students on everything from how to eat like a local to what places to visit, how to get around, and what to bring with them. They provide really valuable insights and enrich the study abroad experience for the students. And the Alumni Office also supports many of the student societies and sports clubs on campus, and alumni donate significantly to the Trinity Access Programme, as well as the Student Hardship Fund, which supports students who need that extra bit of practical and financial support during their time at Trinity. And of course, once you graduate, there are still a lot of benefits to being a part of the alumni network. As I said, we really do have an incredible global network of alumni. Our largest alumni population is unsurprisingly here in Ireland, but we have over 12,000 alumni in the UK, another 12 to 14,000 across Europe, and more than 10,000 across the US and Canada, and really fast growing alumni populations in Australia and throughout Asia. As you probably already know, having access to a strong network and making the most of it can really help you build your career, particularly if you're an entrepreneur. And alumni networks are such a brilliant way to do this. I mean, you already have experiences in common with anyone you want to connect with because you both went to Trinity. So it's a really nice way to start a conversation, makes it a little bit easier. A great way to make the most of our global network is to get involved with some of our alumni chapters and interest groups. And we have over 60 groups around the world that are active, and these connect alumni both socially and professionally. Here in the Alumni Office, we also organize events throughout the year, both on campus and abroad. And by attending these events and meeting fellow alumni, you can build ties across the alumni community to increase your own network and ultimately enhance your personal brand. As I mentioned before, mentoring isn't just alumni to current students, it's alumni to alumni as well. So if you're in the early stages of your career as a graduate and want to talk to a more experienced person about maybe how to chart your path in their industry, or if you're thinking about switching careers and want to talk to someone in your intended field, our alumni to alumni mentoring events and the Trinity Alumni online platform are a really great resource. And there are also a range of additional benefits and services available to alumni when they graduate. And I've listed just a few of those there on the slide, from careers advice to lifelong learning to discounts in the library shop and free access when you come back to visit the bookshelves. So I hope this gives you a real feeling for the community you'll be joining here at Trinity. I mean, it's engaged, it's supportive, it's ambitious, it's innovative. It's a really wonderful place to be. So that's just a little overview of our alumni network and how they interact and support each other in Trinity. So I think we're now moving into some Q&A, so I will hand over again now to Dervla and Gobnait.
Welcome, Dervla, by the way, who's my colleague here at Trinity. While we're waiting for everybody to come back on, you may have, maybe your interest has been sparked there, and perhaps you want to see. And we're delighted to say that we now have a team of student ambassadors available to chat to you virtually about all aspects of student life at Trinity. If you go to www.tcd.ie/CAO, you'll get a little pop-up like that, and you can just click on that and chat to our students. As well, obviously this is the Webinar Wednesday series, so please do feel free to join us next week. You need to register with Zoom for each session. We will have details on our social media channels, but next week we'll be looking at Erasmus and international opportunities for Trinity students. So we hope that we will see you there. But finally, before we move on to welcome all our guests back, we just want to say thank you so much to all of the special guests that we had joining us today. I think especially the students, because we hope that you, our prospective students out there, have got a real flavour of the kind of things that you can get involved in here in Trinity, and that there's so much more to a Trinity education than just the books and the studying. So I think that each of our guests today have given us a really exciting kind of insights into the kind of opportunities that are there for your development outside of the classroom, and to support you in your Trinity journey. So I'm welcoming back now all of our guests, and I hope you can see them on the screen. And if you guys can turn on all your mics, that would be fab. And I'll stop sharing.
Perfect. I think we've actually answered most of the questions. So we were all in the background just answering all of your queries as they came in. We've had a couple that have just come in now. So I might just pop one to Marielle. I know she's running in a second. Just about placements and placements that students might have an opportunity to access. So I know we do have an internship database that students can access, and normally for doing summer internships. So some of you may know already that there are internships for credit in a couple of our courses. So in computer science and in engineering and in business, you can do one over the summer, but there are lots of opportunities to do internships independently over the summer as well. And the Career Service gives support in terms of prepping CVs and things like that. But I might hand you over to Marielle for a second just to take that one if she's anything else to add.
There.
Yeah, I just answered that in the chat there. But yeah, the way it works in Ireland, we don't have placement kind of partnerships with employers. That's not really how it works. But what we do have our relationship with employers, and certainly the employers you've mentioned there, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, we would be a target university for those companies. So they would select every year which universities do we want to recruit from. And often we might be the only one in Ireland that some of those companies would come to. It changes every year, but certainly they would actively recruit from us generally.
I think your mic is off, Derla.
Thank you very much, Marielle. We had a question from Megan as well. Someone was just asking, is there any criteria in terms of joining the alumni associations or accessing that? Or if students perhaps wanted to talk to alumni before they started, can they access them before they become students?
There isn't any criteria for being part of the alumni community. Anyone who's a graduate of Trinity is considered part of our alumni community, is welcome to come to events, to join Trinity Alumni Online. You can join Trinity Alumni Online as a student. We are working to set up a program where prospective students will be able to connect with alumni through online before they even attend Trinity through the platform. And that's launching, I think, at the end of the month. So have a little patience and you'll be able to get to it soon. But yeah, all our graduates are considered a member of the alumni community from the time they graduate. So there's nothing, no fees you have to pay or anything like that.
Perfect. That's great. I'm a member myself, so I should actually say that. But we've gone to a few events in different places, which is quite nice. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Megan. Joe, there are a couple of questions that are kind of related to you. One of them is about if you had a team that comprises students and non-students, is that possible? I know you can have students from lots of different departments.
Yeah, absolutely. So to answer that, I mean, we have had a number of teams that have come through wherein there's a founder who is from Trinity and founders who are not from Trinity or studying elsewhere, or even just professionals in the industry. Specifically in Launchbox, the rule of thumb is 50% of your team needs to be a Trinity student. So if you have 2 people as co-founders, you can join the program. And that's really cool because if I didn't mention it before, it's 10,000 euros, no equity is taken in your company, and you can work with people from around the world while you found your startup. So yeah, the opportunity is there regardless of whether they're Trinity or non-Trinity students. You can work with anybody around the world.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Joe. We're getting lots of questions in now, so we might just take 1 or 2 more, and then I just think we'll just we will then maybe sum it up and just ask people for kind of final words of advice that they can give. I think we've actually answered a lot of these already. Oh yeah, so someone's asking about internships outside of Ireland. I think Marielle might already be gone. But in terms of the internships we have, so we have internships on our database on the careers. So when you go into the career service, Marielle would have mentioned it already, you log in as a student, you can access this careers database. You can filter by country and by type of job that you're looking for as well. So you could look at stuff that is outside of the country. And I know, particularly, I used to work in the engineering school and I did engineering in Trinity. I know the program that they have there in terms of doing internships, you can do them in the country and outside of the country. And if you are interested in doing stuff or looking at, say, studying abroad or doing an internship abroad, our webinar next week is actually specifically on international opportunities. And so log in for that and you'll find even more information about it. I think if we go for maybe just a final bit of advice from everyone, because I think we have covered, we've covered most of the questions that are coming in. So if I maybe hand over to Deirdre first, just on kind of your final words of advice for students in terms of preparing themselves for the world of careers and for making the most of their student journey.
I think just there's no point overthinking it. Just anything that comes up, if you have the time, go on and try it out, I would have never thought I'd be into financial services or the likes of that or Intel, anything, just try it out, and some things will work and some things won't. I think that's the best way of doing it, really. If you're just reading about everything, it might, obviously it's a good indicator, but if you get involved, there's so many opportunities that Trinity offers, so just take them. There's nothing to lose.
That's brilliant, Deirdre. That sounds so exciting.
I know.
I think you're giving us a real flavour of what the excitement that's there in Trinity outside of just studying, as well. Callum and Lara, do you want to, since we're on the student theme, maybe Callum, do you want to give us, you'll be looking for recruits for the Trinity Entrepreneurial Society, we know that.
Self-promotion going to be here. Yeah, I would echo that. Just give everything a try. In first year, you're going to have so many opportunities available to you, and a lot of them you might not think that you'll be interested, but you have the time and the scope to just try everything. And even if for the Entrepreneurial Society, like if you think, oh, I'm not a business student, I shouldn't really apply for that, just do it. We have students from all courses, and I found actually that those from the non-business courses actually come up with the best ideas and are more successful than those who are from business courses, like myself.
I think Lara, you're the prime example of that then as well for us.
Yeah, I was kind of going to touch on that too, that entrepreneurship is for everyone, whether you're a business student, a sociology student, a language student, that there is a place in Trinity for you no matter what in terms of entrepreneurship.
Joe, the Student Entrepreneurship Manager, I'm sure you would back that up.
Absolutely. No, I back everything that Callum and Lara would say. Obviously, they've both engaged with Tangent. When you get in, there's opportunities here. There's tests, there's Tangent, there's Enactus for social entrepreneurship. I know Lara pitched at the national competition for that just a few weeks ago. There's loads of opportunities. As soon as you get in, join Tangent online. We'll direct you to wherever you want to go. Join the Test Society. Get involved. It's here. It's not just because you have a startup walking in the door. If you walk in, you have skills that can apply to somebody who has an idea and needs to speak to you. So opportunities are endless. I just hope to see you on this floor soon.
Brilliant. And it's a really cool floor as well, I think. You have to point that out. You can see the really cool space behind you. Megan, I suppose then you're the end of the journey when they're leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I have to echo everything that everybody's already said. I mean, while you're at Trinity, grab every opportunity with both hands, because you will never have so many opportunities right on your doorstep that are there for the taking. Like they're right there. There's so many different viewpoints and things to think about. And don't think that once you graduate, it's over. You know, there's still huge networks of fellow alumni. You can mentor current students yourself and share the benefit of your experience while also being a mentee. You know, you can get advice from senior graduates. So definitely join Trinity Alumni Online as a student. Stay active on it once you've graduated, and mentoring events are a brilliant way to kind of bridge that gap as well.
That's brilliant. Thanks everybody today. Also a big huge thank you to Dervla and Jesse who had joined us, and they were furiously answering questions in the background. So I really appreciate your help as well today. Thanks to all our guests for joining us. We thank you out there in the virtual world for joining us today. We hope that you've had a flavour of what's to come when you do join us, hopefully in September at Trinity. Be sure to join us next week. You'll find the links on our social media as of Monday, Tuesday, but they're also on our website, tcd.ie/CAO. You'll find all the details of the webinar Wednesdays that we have coming up, and we really hope that you will join us to hear more. I hope you all stay safe out there, and we hope to see you soon, and more importantly in September.